r/Askreddit by Reddit and chill. App developers and programmers of Reddit. What was the dumbest app program idea someone ever proposed to you? Someone tried to sell a friend a membership to the new internet. She asked me to sit in and listen to the sales guy's pitch. At the time I was running a web hosting business along with managing a smaller dial-up ISP's networking infrastructure. The new internet was going to be built new from the ground up. All new infrastructure but without all the stuff that makes the internet bad. The sales guy couldn't explain how that was going to work. For only $50 my friend would get a lifetime membership. Members of the new internet could surf the old internet and enter information about old internet web pages into a form on the new internet about those old internet pages. Then the new internet could suggest pages on the old internet. When members of the new internet did searches about them, the members of the new internet would get paid for entering this information on the new internet system. So after a while, new internet's members would start making money and recover their membership fee. So it's Wikipedia, but as a pyramid scheme? My uncle suggested I create a type of digital map that could direct you places and help you get from point A to point B. He suggested this 3 weeks ago. Every time the office goes somewhere, like for our holiday dinner or whatever, my boss will stop by everybody's desk with a printout of the MapQuest directions. My favorite but dumbest was Chipotle, which would match you with people with similar or compatible Chipotle orders. This has potential. My family has a technology business. And when my mom started to learn to make apps to support the product, she made a test app first. The whole app was just one search bar that you could type any word and it would do nothing. Unless you search loser, and then it would pop up with a picture of me from middle school with a bad sunburn and braces. Thanks mom. Sorry gang, it never hit the shelves. It only exists on my mom's really old Android tablet. A friend of mine wanted me to make an app that turned your phone screen into a mirror. Not front-facing camera. Not just blacking the screen. But a literal mirror. He couldn't grasp why this wasn't possible. Also any kind of new social media app that they think can be made by one person in an hour. Any attempt to create another social media app. Knockoffs of popular games, like the plethora of Temple Run games. An app for a smartwatch that will run in the background and periodically meow. I want a meowing watch. Not mine, but for our capstone project. Various faculty around campus get to put in project proposals for us to choose from. The worst ducking proposal was a magic 8-ball type of app, but instead of a magic 8-ball, it was a psychic dog. It was supposed to scan your dog's paw and give some kind of 8-ball-esque answer to your question. The group that got stuck with that project, I felt so bad for them. Repeatedly asking for changes the night before each deadline and getting upset when it didn't come out the way they wanted. Also they wanted to charge money for this shit app too. Okay, I'm an idiot, but it seems that the tricky part is scanning the dog's paw. Couldn't they just do that and generate a random answer? I have a buddy who is a programmer and a while back wanted to just get used to making an iPhone app and uploading to the iTunes store so that he was familiar with the process for when he wanted to do a real app. As practice he made an app that would randomly generate a name based on census data. More common names were more common. It made it on some website's list of top 10 lazy apps and a bunch of authors started buying it. Last I heard he had made about $20,000 on his stupid app he uploaded for practice. Wait till you hear about my new startup. You'll have to sign an NDA to hear details, but it's called Hello World. An app that does your taxes for you after talking about a site that does it. An app to make this noise. A website to take custom butcher orders. The reason this is dumb is that nobody in the shop would know how to run it except for me. And I was one of the butchers. I downloaded one of those cat sounds apps and I will never uninstall. Can't find my cats? Hear mischief or scratching somewhere? Just want them row cuddle? Summons almost instantly. I had a friend who had an idea for YouTube. But better. He didn't know how it would be better. Also he had no idea about domain names. Hosting. VPS. Maintaining a website. Designing a website. Or literally anything. After he explained it, I let him down as gently as I could. That is the stupidest ducking idea I've ever heard. TBH, there needs to be a new YouTube. Like Skype to Discord. 100% science-based Dragon Morgue. You make it sound like they didn't have concept art. I got mixed reviews on this one, so I'll add it to the list. Back when I was in a coding program, our final project was to propose an idea, have the group vote on it, and build the app. My app idea was a Yelp-like app for finding public restrooms and leaving reviews on them. Some classmates said that was a smart idea, while others weren't so excited about it. As someone with crons, please someone make this. Anything that starts with I have the idea. You build the whole thing. We split. There's been a dude on my local Craigslist for years offering up this amazing opportunity. True story. At a company I worked for, we had created an app that tracked employees' time. Each employee would have to log in and click a button to clock in. We were approached by a manager of a department that wanted us to create an app that would allow the employee to log in and then click a button that would then essentially click the one button the employee would have to click to clock in. Like seriously? Did you just ask us to build an application to click one button when it would be the exact same as using the other app? I'm getting second-hand furious about this one. Old boss runs a low-level IT company. Wanted me to develop a backup redundancy for military air traffic control software, including designing our own hardware. All because I used to be a controller. No idea how to design, build or test hardware. No concept of military systems, designs or contracts, federal regulations, military agreements, anything. No software development background. Basically he had an idea with absolutely no way to implement and no idea where to start. Ultimately he ditched that idea in favor of certifying small businesses as HIPAA compliant and got angry that I wouldn't just give him a checklist of things to check due to the litany of federal compliance requirements that were deemed too much work to review, learn, codify and comply with. Trash. My family friend develops apps, and I always loved her stories. My personal favorite was a weed breathalyzer app for your iPhone. If you blow into your iPhone to see if you're high, you're high. Pretty simple. Miles delivery service will go to restaurants and deliver food to your house. Or go to the store and pick up your groceries. My pitch to an entrepreneurial class in 1998. What a stupid idea. There's no way anyone could make money doing that. I once had a friend who wanted me to urgently make a full-on sports betting app in 1 week. Like, talk about choosing beggars extraordinaire. He wanted one person to make a commercial betting app goal live in 1 week. Urgently. I could all but laugh in his face and tell him to duck off. Had a guy approach me with something similar. Wanted a web application that would allow him to manage his fantasy football league. Member logins. Trades. Everything. When I pointed out there were already plenty of websites that already do this, he explained that they use a lot of custom rules so they don't work for his purposes. This was like a month before the season started. My compensation would be being able to play in their league for the year. For free. Potentially earning me a couple $100 if I won the championship. I was like, wow man. That seems like a great deal for the amount of time it will take me to complete. Unfortunately, I'm just super busy at home doing absolutely anything else. Sorry. An app that you could make a list in that would live update to all of your devices. So that we can have a family shopping list. My mom circa 2018. I told her that you could use Google Docs for that, and showed her how, and she goes, but that's not for making shopping lists. You got Google Keep as well. My sister-in-law thought I should make a business using drones to make fake reindeer hoof prints on roofs and other evidence of Santa, and when I told her yeah no that's not going to work, she said well you should make a program that does that with a drone and sell that. Well you can always sell it to North Korea. They would love to bring gifts to the rest of the world. Local line cook wanted me to make this app as a side project. Open your refrigerator and take a picture with your smartphone. The app will give you all of the recipes that you can make with the stuff in your fridge. The app itself would be amazing if it wasn't basically impossible to build. Edit. Line cook to line cook. So your app only does hot dogs? No. It also does not hot dog. Oh god, there's so many. But I'll just mention one type. Every company with more than 100 employees and a non-tech savvy boss will at some point piss away 7 figures on a branded social app or website that's going to be the next Facebook or Twitter, where millions of potential customers will certainly want to hang out and crickets. Yeah. You're going to shut that thing down within 6 months because it is too embarrassing that your big bet social community is a buggy, boring, blatantly sales focused ghost town. Damn. I didn't know some of that stuff actually went through. I am imagining some boss messaging everyone on Facebook to use their better alternative. A contest raffle app where people would be entered to win prizes. And somehow large companies, Coca-Cola for instance, would pay us a few cents for each ticket entered. He just needed someone to put together the code over a weekend and promised me 30% of the profits. He had no answer when I asked him why would large companies pay for us to run raffles through this app. I declined his offer. I have only 3 words for suggestions like this one. Money up front. I hope this qualifies because it is the most unrealistic request I've ever heard. A guy wanted to build a game engine that would incorporate all the major game categories: FPS, RTS, Sim, Open World RPG, etc. as building blocks and let a player create a custom one-off game session by picking which of the elements to combine into a game that would then be multiplayer over the internet. I am not capable of imagining the code it would take to make something like this work. I can do a single player version of this. It's called a box of Lego. I had a Navy captain ask me to add a friend foe column to the countries table. Took me about 2 seconds. Then he asked me to populate the fields. With what? Whether we're friend or foe with that country. Sir? I'm a contractor. That really seems like something that somebody with authority should provide. Sounds like a relationship status. But it needs and it's complicated at least. Facebook for base phishing. Facebook for local bands. Facebook but only for people at our school. I know. Facebook but for dating. I always have the exact same response. Send me the technical details in an email and I will review them. I have never received an email. In most cases, people just want you to humor them. The other fun question is, I make the app site tool. What do you do? Games to play while driving. They only had the vague concept and couldn't see why it may be a problem. Had a friend once who tried desperately to get me to create a search engine that could compete with Google. He's not the brightest crayon in the box, lol. I mean, if you could build a search engine that could in fact compete with Google, that would probably be a pretty good moneymaker. Course. That's in much the same vein as if I could fly like Superman, my morning commute would be a lot easier. I want you to make a simple mobile game like Call of Duty so I can host a tournament for my son's birthday. It's due next week. Can you do it for me as a favor? Please? I was speechless. Lol, my mom wanted me to rebuild her work's website. I quoted $5,000 and got the "oh, we thought you'd do it" for experience. Yes. On top of my full-time job, I'll build you something for free. Full stop. A drone delivery of food exclusively to people floating the river. Guess what we were doing? I'm sure the excellent cell phone coverage and birth of people where take Thea phones tubing with them make that service extremely profitable. Working in corporate America. We get people that think the company has the budget or engineering staff of Facebook or Google. At various points, I've been asked to build an app that replace features of Chrome, Notepad++, SAP, and e-commerce sites with features and layouts based on ideas from Facebook rather than business applications. Google and Facebook have an army of engineers working on their products. We're not going to be replacing them on a shoestring budget, nor should we. An acquaintance once said he'd give me one of his ideas. I was curious how dumb it would be. So I asked. He said, like Facebook, but for sports. I said, so Facebook? Yeah, but for sports. You know, where teams can create pages and fans can talk about the team. So, Facebook? No. For sports. This went on for about 5 minutes before I explained that teams and fans can already accomplish everything he wanted using Facebook. The same guy argued with me when I said that ideas are worthless without execution. Sure, if you have particular industry insider knowledge, your idea might have some value. But chances are we're talking about an entire business plan that generates value. Not just Facebook for X. Ducking like and subscribe.